got a little bit of experience here. And the things he said, some of the things he said are just kind of hyperbolic. And background, we already have background checks. Does he not know that? I mean, you're at the White House podium. I'm sorry, but you have a business to be accurate. And you know, red flag laws. He gave I'm not for red. We already have red flag laws. You know what they're called? They're called parents. Really, you want a red flag and that my kid is in trouble, then don't let your kid go buy a gun. You think the law is going to save you from an 18-year-old who wants to go and murder children? I mean, red flag laws. And then the idea of universal background checks, if he studied the issue a little more, he'd figure out that there aren't background checks. It's just private sales. And the reason the Democrats want what they call universal background checks is because they want a list. They want to know who has the guns, so one day when they come and get them, you can't say, hey, I gave the gun to my kid, it was a private sale, I'm on a farm and I passed him my rifle. That's the reason they want universal background checks. I'll just leave it up one more, I like to roll with it. Do you really believe a criminal is going to go in for a background check? If you believe that, please go get a frontal lobe lobotomy. He's a criminal. They know they can't buy a gun. You think he's going to go into an FFL and say, hey, can I buy a gun I know I can't buy so you can flag it in the computer? I mean, come on, man. You know, think this thing through.
Geraldo.
I think that this was a brilliant, heartfelt speech. I thought it was the best speech on gun rights and gun responsibility maybe ever. I was deeply touched, the fact that it is his hometown, he was born there, that he packed up his family and they went to Uvalde to console those grieving families. 19 families lost third and fourth graders to an 18-year-old. An 18-year-old. When I first came here to Ohio, passing through 1963, I had to drink 3.2 beer because I was 20 years old. That's about half the alcohol content. You know, so I wasn't responsible enough to buy a full beer, but I could buy a machine gun or rather an assault weapon. It is preposterous. It is. I mean, how many more? We lost 31 people to two 18-year-olds within the last several weeks. I mean, listen to this. An actor, you say it as if to diminish him. His sincerity. That was real. That was real. Didn't you feel it? And we have to wait. We have to lower, or we have to rather raise the age for buying an assault weapon from 18 years old to 21 years old. What the hell? Rick Scott did it in Florida. The governor just did it in New York. We can't do it. We can do it because it makes sense. And I see all of these speeches, and I see Cornyn, and I see Murphy, and these senators saying, oh, this time is different. That's a lot of baloney. And I would use stronger language. They're going no place with this. This is going to slip right through our fingers, this opportunity, because we want everything. Each side wants everything, and you're going to get nothing.
Right,
at least get a juvenile assault weapons ban.
A couple things. All right. A couple of things here. Number one, what you said is inaccurate. You can't buy a machine gun. I don't know why you said that. That's just totally inaccurate. Okay, well, you corrected yourself, but it's wrong. And what is an assault weapon? You probably can't even define it.
Corrected myself because I was wrong.
Yeah, assault weapons is not a real. But second, an 18-year-old, you keep using the beer analogy. Geraldo, you're a lawyer. I have not seen Amendment 2.5, the right to buy a Coors Light shall not be infringed. These are legal adults in the country. Now, having said that, if you're going to infringe on a constitutional right, according to the court system, you have to do it. It has to be a compelling government interest. We all agree preventing mass murder is a compelling government interest. Point taken.
Thank God that we agree on that. Thank God.
But it has to, wait, I'm not done. There's a second part to that. You're a lawyer. I think you know this. It's through the least restrictive means. The least restrictive means is not to tell every single 18-year-old in the entire country who's done nothing wrong, you can no longer purchase a rifle because of some nut.
Then why do you tell them they can't drive a semi? That's baloney, Dan. That's what we restricted. Our brains aren't fully developed. 18 years old, 18 years old. We don't have the same. You're always talking about cognitive ability on the show. What about the cognitive ability of someone who could barely shave? And they go, this kid had two of them.
It's really amazing how you have two assault weapons. You haven't met every 18-year-old in the country, and you have so little respect for the American citizen that when you become a legal adult, you've stigmatized them all to be dangerous murderers who cannot get a hold of the rifle, and you keep using a ridiculous example.
Then we cannot pass any law restricting any 18-year-old from doing anything.
Geraldo, Can you? I just said you can explain what this out.
Do you, Dan, wait a second. Wait, I gave you do you concede that at 18 years old, you are less mature than you will be at 21 years old? Do you concede that?
It depends on the 18-year-old. If you're a snowflake 18-year-old,
Generally speaking, don't be cute.
then it's
All right,
probably
guys, I
the
gotta
case.
jump in. Dan Geraldo, this is the debate the country, frankly, does need to have, and it's having. Thank you both. All right.